Okay guys, welcome to another 8-bit face-off kerfuffle. This video I'm looking at the classic Lucasfilm game called the Eidolon. Now I believe this first came out on the Atari 8-bit and the graphics just for the day were absolutely staggering. Now I'm looking at the Amstrad one here. This is the Amstrad one I'm playing. I have played, the version I played back in the day was on the C64, and I've got to say, this looks and feels very, very similar. Funny, for a game that was kind of regarded as quite an epic game, I didn't play it that much. I found the game a wee bit boring. The idea of the game is you've got to basically kill, I think it's a large dragon in each of the caves. And to kill the dragon you need to collect 3 coloured gems. Now you'll see there I've killed that baddie and he's dropped a blue gem, so what I want to do here is pick up the blue gem. Now how do I pick it up? Spacebar, there you go, and you can see now I've got the blue gem at the bottom. So you need to get another 2 coloured gems, and then that'll then give you the required weapon to kill the big dragon, which is in the cave somewhere. Now the yellow things the yellow things you pick up, they're kind of like the sort of fireball things that you use to kill. There are other little mini baddies. That thing I just killed's one of them, you know, and when you kill one of them you then get the coloured gem. Now to help you in your quest around the caves, you'll see it's basically a little meter at the top left with C and H. That means cold and hot. In other words, when you're getting close to the big dragon, it will get hotter. It's like that game you used to play as a kid, hotter or colder. You hid something and then your mum and dad would tell you hotter or colder until you found the thing. So yeah, you can see that it's cold and it's getting hotter a wee bit. Now the big sort of standout feature of this game is the sort of method it uses for drawing the graphics. It uses a process called Fractal graphics. Now, to try and, you know, I don't even, the best thing to do is Google Fractal graphics. Fractal graphics is a process where it's almost like an infinity of patterns. The best sort of thing I can compare it with is if you look at a snowflake under a microscope, no matter how much you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, you get its different patterns. Now, this was the sort of process they used to create the caves, and that's why it moves quite fast. It's actually so these walls, I don't know if they're sort of pre-rendered as such, but you know what, I'm not even going to try and bore you with the technical details because I really don't know, but it uses fractal graphics. The first game that used that process was Rescue on Fractalis, and then it was later renamed, that was an Atari 8-bit, then it was later renamed Rescue. Yeah, that's right, I was Rescuing Fractalis, that's correct, yeah, which, you know, is a step for a hint, i.e. the graphics it's using are fractals. Then there was another game called Coronis Rift, which again used the fractal graphics thing. Anyway, this is the Spectrum one, which you can probably tell, it's kinda, it looks like a Spectrum one, obviously it lacks colour off the Amstrad one. Ah, now there's the big dragon, that's the big guy I was talking about. Now before you can even attempt to kill him, you've got to get the 3 gems, the 3 coloured gems. So I'm probably wasting my time here trying to shoot the thing. Now strangely, there was actually very few games actually used this graphic system. Don't know why, because it's a very sort of authentic way, effective way I should say, of actually, you know, producing movement. You know, you get to remember these 8-bit machines, they didn't have a lot of horsepower. I mean, I don't know what the processor speed of these machines were, probably less than 1 megahertz, you know, it was ridiculous. A PC now is like 1600 and a Commodore 64 was probably like 1 megahertz, so the processing power of these machines wasn't a lot. But using this fractal method they were able to really make some kind of quite impressive graphical effects. Now this wee guy here, there you go, he's now come to life now, he'll try and kind of kill me. Oh, there we go, I've killed him, so now I can pick up the blue gem. Here we go. Now I notice, I don't know quite what the clock thing in the middle is actually telling me. I just noticed that it's flashing to the right. Is that where I turn the joystick? Does it show you what direction I'm turning? And then you've also noticed you've got the red gem thing. Does that mean I've got to pick up the red gem? I'm not quite sure. Again, movement wise is excellent, but then the Spectrum was always probably the best machine. Although I think maybe the Amstrad was just as good when it came to sort of like rendering, you know, graphics, kind of vectory type style graphics. So this is pretty good as well. But obviously it lacks the colour, so I'll come back again. Yeah, you really need to suss out how to use the controls, because I'm just wandering about aimlessly. So that is a Spectrum one. Right, now this is actually the Apple II. I did a research on Wikipedia and found out there was a version for Apple II, so this is it. It's got quite odd looking graphics again. You can see this sort of vector, not the vector, the fractal style. The little fireball gem things you pick up looks slightly different. And the noise is more like a static on a radio than actual. Presumably that's the noise. Are you in some kind of buggy or something? Is that your engine noise? I'm not sure. Oh, there's the big guy, but again you can't kill him until you've picked up the other gems. Now you can hear this sound and see the way it's kind of updating it. Obviously when there's nothing on the screen, this one seems to increase the speed. Yeah, the fireballs or the gems, whatever they're called, are a bit of a kind of garbled mess, but you know what, this is a very, very early computer, so I suppose the fact that you were even able to play this in the Apple II is pretty good. I don't know how did the Apple II spec wise compare to like the Commodore 64? Was it more powerful? I really don't know. I always think it was kind of on a par actually. So there's a wee guy, so if you move up to him, you kind of bring him to life. They kind of sleep to begin with, and then when you move up to them, they jump into life. So if I pick that up, there we go, I've now got the orange gem. But yep, you really need to either map this or else figure out how to use the controls. I say you've got a kind of clock in the centre of the screen. You can see the arms going round. I'm not quite sure what that is. And you've also got the oops. You can see it says 6 and 1. I don't know what that is. So let's see what happens if I kill him. Right, there's a green. Does that change? 6 and 1. Pick that up. No, it still says 6 and 1. I don't know, is that lives or something? Possibly it is. Again, it's quite impressive that this is even running on an Apple II. It's probably not as nice as the sort of versions we've looked at so far. And I guess if you're of a certain age, you're probably looking at this thinking, my goodness, that looks bloody terrible. But you know what, you need to remember, this is what we had back in 1986. There was no such thing as PlayStations or Mega Drives or even Commodore Amigas. It was 8-bit machines, and this was what we had. So you know, it makes things like this pretty impressive. Although you know, somebody younger probably looks at it and thinks it looks rubbish, but very, very clever what they're doing here. I think it's a graphical system whereby it generates it quite easily. It allows it to generate these effects. But like I says, if you want to know more about fractal graphics, just Google it. Because I'm certainly not technical competent at all. And you see wee kind of flashing white bits. I don't know if that's just sort of little artifacts in the graphics or something. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, that is the Apple II version. Let's crack on. Right, now this is the version I played. This is the C64 one. Now it does look very, very similar to the Amstrad one. Well, it does have some nice sound. You've kind of got a kind of engine-y type noise. It says there's 7 and 1, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Right, blue. I've picked up 2 gems, but that doesn't appear to have changed the number, so I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's lives or something. No idea. Now, actually, when the last time I played this game on the C64, it was probably 30 years ago. Well, there's a big dragon. I mean, that looks excellent. Really well drawn. Yeah, it was about 30 years ago, and I always remember thinking it was quite impressive graphically on the C64. Now, when I was making this video, I'm thinking, well, is it going to look really, really shit? But I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with the update on the C64, because the C64 is not, it's not renowned for its processor speed, and that's why it can't do sort of line graphics, you know, stuff like Elite. And that's why you always felt, well, you always found that the Spectrum and the Amstrad ones were better. But it must just be the way it produces the graphics in this thing. There's a wee mini dragon, so walk up to him. Right, let's shoot him a couple of times. One more. Boof. Right, okay, pick that up. And I noticed when you pick up a green gem, I don't know if it's just the green gem, I'm guessing it's your energy, which is the sort of top, well, not top right, the top right dial with the sort of minus and plus. So it's currently sitting right at the very top, which I think is probably good. But yep, you really need to figure out how to navigate, because I'm just wandering around in circles here. One more, is it? Boop, there we go, blue, so pick that up. Now I see the wee red gem things flashing, so does that mean that I need to get a red gem? It's bizarre, like, but when you look at if you look at the graphics, you know, for the actual cave, yeah, they do look a bit, what the hell is that? But it's amazing how, you know, when you're playing these kind of low powered machines, your imagination filled in an awful lot. So when I'm playing this just now, I'm inside a cave, whereas to anybody else, you're thinking, that just looks like black and grey mess. I've got no idea what it is, but nowadays you've got 4K graphics. Back then it was very, very basic graphics, and you know, it was all about gameplay, and like I said, you just had to kind of fill in, your imagination filled in the gaps, so you felt you were really there, you know. It was a little gyrocopter thing, bug. That was easy. Right, pick that up. Right, anyway, listen, that is the C64 one. Let's take a look at the very last version, which was the original one, which is the Atari 8-bit. There we are. You can tell right away this is the most impressive looking. I mean, the speed of the update, the graphics in this one are really nice. It's got the best sound as well. Now, the reason the screen's flashing is because I'm near the big dragon. Is he there? There he is. With his steely blue eyes, so I can't actually do anything with him just now. I'll need to go and look for some gems. You know what, I always think it's sad that the Atari 8-bit never really got the It never got the exposure, certainly in the UK, that it deserved. I mean, it was, in my opinion, by far away the best 8-bit computer, and I'm a C64 man. Yeah, it didn't have the SID chip. The SID chip in the C64 was and is awesome, but as far as processor power and, you know, colour palette and the ability to, you know, what it could do in the right hands, Atari 8-bit was a phenomenal machine, and this game proves it. I mean, you've really got the best feeling of movement in this version. It's just quicker, smoother, and you've got probably, you know, you've got the best sound as well. Real awesome game. Listen to these big meaty sound effects. Fantastic. Right, steady Alan, right, pick that up. Okay, right, I've got one to get. So you really need to use the hot and cold meter to kind of find out if you're... okay, I don't know, is the hot and cold meter just point you towards the big dragon? It may well do, actually. And you can, the noise, it gets kind of noisier as well. You've got that kind of buzzing noise which seems to increase in volume, excuse me, the closer you get to the big dragon. Come on, one to find... is it there? No. Come to me, little baddie. Where are you? No. Nope. I'm back to the big dragon again, am I? There we go. No, I don't want you. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, it's very, very easy to get lost in this game. Right, come on, I need one more. I think, anyway, one more wee baddie. I think I've been here before. Yep, I think I have. So I'm wandering around in circles here. Hey! Right, okay, let's kill this wee guy. Right, okay, so let's pick that up. Is that the green one? Right. Now hopefully I have now got enough gems. I think this is how it works, I'm really not too sure. So I can now use the hot and cold thing to try and locate the big dragon. Ah, I hear they getting noisier there. Are we getting there? It's getting cold again. Why is it you can't find it when you're looking for it and then you do when you're not? Ah, right, okay. You can see the wee meter moving up. It's getting hot. You must just be around this corner, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Ah, right, we've got him, I think. There we go now. Ah, there we are. He's now come to life. Die, scum. Hey, there we go. Ding dang do. Anyway guys, listen, that is it. If there's a game you want to see featured on this, please put your comments below. I quite enjoyed that actually. It's a very impressive game. So, hey, listen guys, as usual, thank you very much for watching.